everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about flossing. Flossing is extremely important to the health of your teeth and gums, so it's very important that you understand how to properly do so. We've already covered brushing in one of our RDH Encore essential videos, and so this is the second part, which is flossing. You got to have both of those in your daily regimen to assure that you keep everything nice and clean and healthy. The importance of flossing is to make sure that you're cleaning between your teeth and your gums. So flossing helps to clean everything out of your teeth and your gums. Plaque, bacteria, food debris, that assures that it reduces the chance of you getting any type of gum disease or cavities or periodontal disease to where you have bone loss and things like that. So very important to make sure that you're flossing and cleaning in between your teeth. Whereas with brushing, that helps to take care of the plaque and the bacteria and the food debris on the smooth surfaces and the biting surfaces of your teeth. So this taking care of both of these things on a daily basis assures that everything stays clean, every part of your tooth surfaces and in your mouth. So basically flossing is important to clean in between your teeth. The recommended amount of time for flossing is making sure that you're flossing once a day. But you know, it's up to you. If you prefer to do it with every one of your brushes, which would be twice a day, then that would be even better, you know. But the recommended is at least once a day. The next thing I want to talk about is the types of floss that are out there for you to use, the different tools that you can utilize in order to make sure that you're flossing effectively. So the first thing as far as considered floss would be just this regular string floss. This is Oral-B Glide. You can see I've put this to work quite a bit because it doesn't even have the glide symbol on it anymore. But basically, this is Oral-B Glide. This is my absolute favorite type of floss. Basically, Oral-B Glide floss is like a flat little silky type of floss. It kind of just helps to glide in there and clean everything out really good. It's very comfortable. So this is basically just a regular type of floss. This would be considered a wax floss because of the wax type coating that's on top of it, is on the outside of it basically. There is also another type of floss that's an unwaxed floss, which to me it feels like a piece of thread going in between your teeth, and it's not all that comfortable, but some people feel like it does a better job to use a floss that's unwaxed. So, you know, to each their own if that's what you prefer, as long as you're flossing and it's basically the manual removal of the plaque and bacteria and the food debris is what's helping your gums and your preventing you from getting cavities and things like that. So whatever works for you, go with it. So those are the two types. There's waxed and unwaxed floss. That's the traditional regular string floss. So that's great, and that's what I recommend. It's the most cost effective for cleaning in between your teeth, and to me it's the most effective. And I've talked to other hygienists and things like that about other things that they might recommend in place of flossing. There's nothing that compares. There really isn't. The other option that a lot of people are taking advantage of for convenience reasons and things like that is some type of variation of this type of tool here. This is a flosser. This is Dentec brand, but this particular flosser is basically, the floss is similar to the Oral-B Glide that I just showed you. It's kind of one of those flat, silky type flosses that's in here, but this particular tool is meant to be used kind of like a toothpick. It's one-handed. People go in and just clean in between their teeth and things like that. The only problem with this, basically, I really wanted to recommend these so badly when they, you know, first started to become popular and things like that, because I feel like it would help a lot of people, because a lot of people have trouble knowing how to wrap the floss in their hands and how to navigate it between their teeth. With this, you only have to use one hand and can get in there really well. But the problem is with this, it's basically a straight floss. It doesn't have very much flexibility or anything like that. I don't know if you can see this, but it doesn't really allow you to move this very much. If so, if you move it too much, it's going to break. Not very much flexibility. So the problem with this type of floss, and the reason I don't recommend it at all, is basically because you can do a pretty good job for the most part at flossing your front teeth because they're relatively straight, but your back teeth, your molars and your premolars, they're very round, and using a straight object to clean a round tooth, that's just not going to help very well, because basically it's just going to swipe the teeth. And it's not going to hug the teeth like regular string floss can, like the glide that I showed you. It's going to swipe it versus hugging it, and so the hugging allows you to be a lot more effective and take out all the plaque and bacteria. You'll see what I mean here shortly when I get into some of the tutorials. But the regular, these little plastic flossers, they don't allow a lot of flexibility and allow you to wrap around the tooth, which is a very, very important part in flossing in order to be effective. And so that's just simply why these don't work. I have many patients that say they floss all the time and they use these things. That's why I have to dig in a little bit deeper and find out what tools they're actually using in order to floss, because when I still see gingivitis and lots of bleeding and inflammation and issues on their back teeth, that's usually an indication of, okay, I floss consistently, but I'm using this tool and it's just not working. So that's one of the things that I would encourage you to kind of stay away from, these little plastic flossers and any type of variation of them. Some of them have like a long handle on it to where you can get your back teeth a little bit better. Some of them are more curved to where they can handle the back teeth more, but that even those little alterations still do not make these things any more flexible, because it didn't make them more effective, because it's just not very flexible. It didn't allow you to hug the tooth versus just swiping the tooth. So hopefully you can see a little bit better what I mean when I get into some of the tutorials on how to actually floss. And you know, you have to do what works best for you, but I feel like continuing to use things like this is going to really not benefit you in the long run. Some of these tutorials that I go over, you can try to use these, but it's not going to be as effective. But like I said, you know, something is better than nothing. So if you just absolutely cannot follow the easy steps that I give you with these tutorials, then, you know, if this is all you're going to simply do in your daily routine, do something, okay? So basically I'm going to get off of that. So those are the three types of floss, main types of floss that are out there, which is the regular string floss, and those are broken into the divisions of wax floss or unwaxed floss. So any of those would be great. And the most effective. The other one would be the little plastic flosser, which is like the Dentec brand, and there's different brands out there, but basically it's like a toothpick. Now those are okay in between meals if you want to use those, such as like a toothpick or something like that to get different things from in between your teeth. But on a daily regimen, at least once a day, it's very important to make sure that you're getting in between every one of your teeth and using regular string floss, okay? So I wouldn't recommend the plastic flossers for a daily regimen as far as cleaning all of your teeth. So now that we've covered all of that, why it's important to floss, the things you can use to floss, and how often you should actually floss, I would like to go ahead and get into some of the tutorials and actually show you how to actually do this. But before I do that, I want to show you how to wrap the floss. That's going to be very important, how to wrap it in your hands, because a lot of patients I find wrap it in some type of weird way, so where it kind of cuts off their circulation, and it just makes it a little more difficult for them to navigate it between their teeth. So I want to make sure that you're clear on how I do it, so that you can kind of try to, you know, try to mimic that and make it a little bit easier for you, because a lot of patients have tried it the way that I've shown them to do it, and they've really kind of gotten into the habit of flossing, and they actually know how to do it now and feel comfortable doing it. So I hope the same for you. So whenever I come back, then I will show you how to actually wrap the floss on your hands, and then we'll get into some tutorials. Okay, so welcome back. So basically, I'm going to show you how to wrap the floss around your hand. So first of all, you want to make sure you have floss that is long enough. You're going to get a piece of floss that's at least longer than your forearm. So I don't know if you can see this, but you want to stretch your forearm out, and if it's longer than your forearm, then you're pretty you're in pretty good shape there. So basically, don't be shy with the amount of floss that you grab, okay? So you're wanting to take the floss and you're gonna wrap it between your middle fingers on both hands, okay? And I'm not giving you the bad finger or anything like that, but you're gonna literally wrap between both of your middle fingers, okay? And so the floss, you want to grip the floss with your thumb on both hands and your pointer finger, okay? So it's gonna go between your thumb and your pointer finger. So your pointer finger and your thumb. You're gonna grip it, okay? And the next thing you're going to do is basically make sure that you don't leave a big gap between your hands, because when you leave a big gap such as this one versus this amount, it's hard to kind of control the floss whenever you put it in the mouth and begin to use it. So let's review once again. We're going to wrap the floss between our middle fingers on both hands, okay? And if you can't do it in that one quick motion, that's fine. If you have to take it and wrap it a little bit here and then wrap it on the other finger like that, that's just fine. However, you got to get it between your middle fingers, okay? Then you're going to grip the floss between your pointer finger and your thumb, okay? So just like that. And like I said, remember not to leave a big gap here. Bring it all the way in, okay? So this sets us up for the tutorials that I'm going to show you how to use your floss here in just a moment. An important thing to remember is this thumb here. You're holding the floss with it. You're also going to use the thumb to kind of retract your cheek and to get all the way back there as well. So your thumb's going to help you in the process to retract your cheek and get all the way back there, okay? So anyway, we'll get into the tutorials, and if you're interested in that, then stay tuned. So first you're going to wrap the floss around your middle fingers on both hands like I showed you. You're going to hold the floss between your pointer finger and your thumb. You're going to next go in between your teeth and your gums as deep as you can on one side of that triangular piece of gum tissue, which is called the interdental papilla. And then you're going to wrap the floss in a C shape around the tooth on both front and back. And then as you see in this demonstration, you're going to go up and down about 2 or 3 times on each side of that little triangular piece of gum tissue. So you'll see a few examples of this. This will demonstrate just so that you can kind of get a hang of everything. Keep in mind that I'm trying to hold the tappodont at the same time, this set of teeth. And so the way that I'm holding my hands, it won't be quite as difficult for you. And then also it will look a little bit differently because I'm not flossing myself. So I wanted to give you some examples of flossing your front teeth and your back teeth. Whenever you're flossing your back teeth, keep in mind that whenever you get to a point to where there is not an adjacent tooth behind your very back tooth in each quadrant, you want to make sure that you're flossing all the way back there as well. So today's something to smile about comes from Romans 8:28. It's actually one of my favorite scriptures also. Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that for all those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose." Now that's something to smile about. So I hope you enjoyed these tutorials today on how to floss. If you did enjoy these videos, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, then don't forget to subscribe so that you can be notified on other videos that I produce with this type of content. I I do plan on doing some videos in the future, some unboxings of different products, and also some reviews, and I also want to get into some more tutorials and kind of. Well, that's all that I have for today. So until next time, take care, and don't forget to let your smile shine. Bye.